Welcome to Tea Time with Chris, a podcast that celebrates faith, humor, and the power of storytelling. I'm Chris Tomlinson, your host, and I'm thrilled to invite you to join me for engaging conversations with people from all walks of life. Together, we'll sip some tea, or whatever you prefer, and explore life's joys and challenges with a focus on hope, inspiration, and positivity. I'll also share some of my personal stories and some poetry to add a touch of intimacy and creativity to our chats. So join me as we spread love, joy, and laughter with each episode. Welcome to Tea Time with Chris. Welcome, everybody, to the very first episode of Tea Time with Chris. I'm excited to start this journey with you guys. And I'm new to this, so please be patient with me. There might be points where I might stutter a little bit. Maybe I'll even repeat, but I'm hoping that my editing will be able to get rid of some of that stuff for you guys so you're not sitting through all that. But I'm just excited to be able to launch this. I've been wanting to do a podcast for quite a while, and I've just been putting it off because I didn't have the confidence to do it, I guess you can say. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to think of topics to engage with people or to keep making episodes, to keep it going. I guess I compared it to like when I tried to do YouTube stuff and I had a few ideas for like 1 or 2 episodes, and then I kind of like lost ideas and that dwindled out. So I was afraid to start something new because I was thinking, I'm just going to do the same thing I did with YouTube. I'm going to run out of ideas and I'm not going to know what to say. And I'm just going to become boring and no one's going to listen. So anywho, so to get beyond all that, like I said, I've had the idea in my head for a while to do podcasts, and I had a lot of people tell me that they love listening to my voice. And on a side note here, I don't know what people hear with my voice. I don't hear what they hear. So to me, my voice sounds very weird, but everybody seems to like it for some reason. So whatever, each to their own, I guess. So like I said, I've had a lot of people tell me that I should get into doing podcasts and audiobooks and stuff. So I looked into doing audiobooks, and it's a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. And as I was thinking about it, you don't get to choose really what book you read. It's really whatever's there. I mean, you get kind of a choice, but it's very limited. Like I can't like I love Lord of the Rings. I love books like, stuff like that. And I wouldn't be able to go on there and just be like, all right, I'm going to do an audiobook on the Lord of the Rings today. I'll pick that and read that. No, you don't get a choice like that. They just have a certain few amount of books that people have published and they need readings for. And you choose out of that. So I was sitting there thinking like, well, what if they don't have anything that like I get into? I don't want to like read a book and then bore people because it bores me, and then you're listening to me and all of a sudden it goes quiet because I fell asleep as I was reading it. So that didn't go into play, obviously, and it also needed so much more equipment than what I have. So I figured, okay, so audiobooks isn't what I'm going to be doing. So fast forward to maybe a few months ago or so, and I started thinking about the podcasts. And Tea Time with Chris originally started with me doing like little Facebook Lives a few years ago. And I would literally go on camera on a Facebook Live and have a cup of tea and talk about a flavor of tea, and then just talk about whatever during the day. And I'd have people, obviously it was a Facebook Live, so there's people watching and listening, and they can interact and say things. And I'd answer their questions or talk about whatever topic that they brought up. And I went on for a little while. I can't remember how long it went on, but it went on for quite a while. And people enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing it too. I liked hearing other people's stories. I liked being able to encourage people and bring hope to people. So what I'd like to do today for this first episode of Tea Time with Chris is basically just talk about what my vision is for this podcast. What is my goals and ideas for this thing? So basically, let's jump into this, shall we? All right, so first things first, we need to talk about the flavor tea of the week. Now, if you keep up with my weekly newsletter, I put in a flavor of tea every week, and each week is different, obviously. So if you know, this week's is, I will probably pronounce this wrong, and that's okay. Darjeeling, Darjeeling, I don't know. It's however you pronounce it. Pronounce it that way. It originated in India. This tea is a prestigious black tea that originates from the Darjeeling district in the West Bengal region of India, known as the champagne of teas. It is prized for its distinctive muscat flavor with fruity, floral, and sometimes slightly astringent notes. The taste can vary depending on the season and harvest, but it generally has a delicate and nuanced flavor profile. It contains antioxidants, which may provide health benefits, such as supporting heart health, boosting the immune system, and improving mental alertness due to its caffeine content. So, if you have a weakness to caffeine and have heart issues, do not drink that tea. And otherwise, drink it if you like something that sounds like that. I myself have had this tea. It is pretty good. I'm kind of picky when it comes to flavors of tea. Like, I don't like fruit flavored teas, but I can be appreciative, I guess you could say, of the different flavors of tea. But I'm more like, my favorite overall tea is Earl Grey, which is why the very first newsletter, the first flavor of the week was Earl Grey. I love flavors like that, and black tea, green tea, and some other ones. But Darjeeling is not bad. It's not bad at all. I really like the flavor. I personally think it tastes better with honey than sugar or whatever other people might sweeten it with. But anyway, so that is this week's flavor of tea. So let's jump back into what we were originally talking about, which was my view and my hope for this podcast. First of all, let's talk about the theme. Okay, so my overall theme focus of Tea Time with Chris podcast is basically hope and faith. I also, of course, like to add in a touch of humor now and then to lighten the mood. I always think it's good to laugh occasionally because it just helps. It's a good way to just release stress and just feel better about things sometimes. So, me being me, I will toss in some humor now and then. But anyway, but my main focus I want to do is to focus on strength, encouragement, hope, faith, just to provide a place where people can come to and feel relaxed and feel calm. And you just know that this is a place that they can come to and just listen to other stories, or come to, or have a place that they know they can come to and be able to know that what they're about to listen to is going to encourage them and help them, or some way they can use it for their life. Now, I know I'm not coming on here and claiming that I am going to have the answers for everything for people in their lives. I'm not going to come on here and say that what I say is right and how it should be, because I'm human. I am going to make mistakes. I'm going to fail you. It's just how we are, unfortunately. But I will always try my best to meet people where they're at, no matter what stage they're at in their life. I'm not any better than anybody else. I'm not going to cast judgment on anybody because they live a different life than me. And I will be open to listen to their story and what they've gone through or what they may be currently going through, and hopefully listen to a message of encouragement and hope, you know. I want it to be uplifting. I want people to feel like, you know, the overall theme, you know, the tea time with Chris. You know, when you meet a friend in a cafe or a restaurant, or even if they come over to your house or whatever, you just know that this is just a place to just stay calm and just enjoy what you're listening to, and know that you can possibly apply it to your life and help you with something. The reason why this is so important to me is because through my life, I know that when I hear other people's stories and what they're going through, and it might be something that either I'm going through or maybe I'm not going through it, I've never experienced it, which also I can say, hey, I don't know what that's like. Man, that must be rough. And how do they get through that? How do they do this? And it can help and encourage me to know that if something comes up later in my life, that, dude, these people went through this, I can do this too. And I want people to be able to hold on to those things, you know. That's really important to me, is to have people to know that they have a place to go to and they can rely on it, you know. Like, they can, again, repeating myself, feel calm and a place to feel encouraged. So some of the upcoming topics that I plan on doing is I will eventually have people come on to interview and get their stories. I will ask them questions, and, you know, we'll do interactions and like a conversation, like as if we were just sitting down to have a friendly cup of tea together. And of course, I know everybody doesn't like tea, so don't think just because you're not drinking tea that you can't enjoy this podcast. You can drink whatever you want. I know some people like coffee. Some people don't like any of that. They just like water, orange juice, milk, whatever it is. You can drink that while we listen. You don't have to drink anything. You could even be just driving your car and just listen to it. I don't mind what you're doing. So anyways, so that is one of the things I want to do in the future, is the interviews. But I want to slowly get to there, because I don't want to just jump into that, because I want people to know who it is that they're listening to and know who I really am, and not just based off of what other people are saying or what they read. I want them to know me personally. So I will occasionally, I might have an episode or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it may be, of me explaining certain things that I've gone through in my life. A lot of people already know my main story of my accident, the fire that I was in. I will have an episode that's dedicated more to that. That's more, introducing more of my backstory and more in-depth story of me. I share some poetry I've written. I have some up on my YouTube and TikTok, but I would want to get more personal and be able to, just share one that I've just written, or maybe something that just popped in my head or whatever, and I just can just express it to you guys and share it with you guys. So I will do that, and I want to also do a couple of episodes where I explain my beliefs, like why I believe in certain things and why I don't believe in certain things, and just my view on certain things. Not to shove it down anybody's throat, not to force my views on anybody, but just so people can get to know me better and understand how my mind and how Chris works, I don't want to have this channel, or not channel, I don't want this podcast to feel like, like people are going to feel condemned, or people are going to feel low, or come here and listen and be like, oh, this is that podcast where they think they're, they're Christians, so they're highly above us. They're more holy. They're more whatever than anybody else. And I don't want people to think that of me, because I don't think that of myself. I respect everybody at all walks of life. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care. Well, I mean, I don't. When I say I don't care, I don't mean like, yeah, I don't care about you, whatever. No, I mean like, it's not gonna bother me, because I know everybody goes through their walk of life different than others. And we were put here on earth to love one another and to have each other's back and depend on one another, And that's gone lately. Like, there's so much hate these days that it's sad. It's so sad. I hate looking at the news. I hate just reading anything. I just want to just block everything out and not know. Because there's just so much hate. You see it everywhere. And I want this to be a place where they can come and know that there's no hate, there's no judgment here, and you're accepted for who you are and what you are. I will not do anything political on this podcast. Not at all. I don't go or buy into podcast. I mean, I don't go in or buy into politics, because it's just not something that I want to get into. I know everybody has different looks on their politics, so I don't want this to be a podcast where people will come and hear arguments about their view on political matters, or even certain big topic matters that people are on and on about. I will not do that. I just won't. You won't come here and hear the latest news topic and my take on. I will not do that. I'm sorry if that's something might be interested in other podcasts like that, but I will not do that here. This will solely be a place where people can just come, share, and listen, and feel at peace and accepted. So that's some of the other topics I will go through, my beliefs and stuff. And again, I am not forcing anything on anybody. I will listen to anybody's walk of life again. You're welcome to listen to those episodes, and if those are episodes you don't want to listen to, that's fine. You can skip those episodes too. That's totally fine. Let's see what else. I will have episodes where I said interviews, my stories, my beliefs. I will have certain topics that we can talk about that people might have sent to me through my website, which, by the way, is www.teatimewchris.com. I know the podcast's called Tea Time with Chris, but don't type in with, just put a W. So teatimewchris.com. And if you click contact, you can actually send in a topic that you would like to maybe discuss with me, and maybe I could have you come on as an interviewer or interviewee, or obviously it. Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, maybe it's just, I can be like, okay, so I got a topic sent in today, and this is the topic, and today we're going to talk about this, and we just go on with that. Again, nothing political, nothing bashing anybody, nothing that's like a really hot news subject right now because I'm not getting into that. I don't want drama here. No drama. Drama free zone here, people. So that is what I hope to do in future episodes. And I'm hoping this podcast does good and it will pick up and improve and be able to do more with it. I have other ideas of other things I want to do with Tea Time with Chris that doesn't involve podcasts. I'm hoping that I can have like a team eventually of people that have like a general same idea as me and want to get people's stories out and have a platform where people can go to and listen to and feel accepted and at peace in a place they can just relax at. I want other segments to come off of Tea Time with Chris, if that makes it like branch off, I guess I could say, and have other other names of things. Like maybe like I have musician friends that I could do things with, and maybe have like a music section, or have something for kids. Or I'm an adult. I like video games. Come on, there's adults out there that like video games. We can be honest. We're gonna be honest here in this podcast. Maybe I'll have a totally separate branch for people who like stuff like that and watch video games or talk about video games. Or maybe there's a branch where I can get with like-minded people who actually can come up with different topics to actually have a big, deeper study about something and talk about that certain study subject. I really want this to branch off and not be just about me. Right now, yes, the name is Tea Time with Chris because that was originally what started this thing. So I just wanted to keep that theme. But I don't want this whole thing to be about me. I want it to be, number one, I want to bring honor and glory to God. I want this to glorify God. And I want people to come to know God in a way they've never expected to know God. I know a lot of people don't like to go to churches. I know a lot of people don't even like to hear the name of Jesus because that has all been tainted and it has been hurt by those. So they're automatically, when they hear those things, they're put off by it and their mind's going to shut off and not listen to anything else you have to say because of those topics. Now, I will not hide God. I will not hide Jesus from this because that is who I'm honoring with this. But I'm doing it in a totally different way than most people would expect. I will respect everybody on how they view life. I will respect everybody on how they live life. Again, I won't have people come on here and tell me that this is how you're supposed to do it, and that's how it's going to be, and that's it. I will not do that in here. So just to keep myself from repeating, because I feel like I'm repeating so much. That's what I want to do for future topics or ongoing topics from now on. I hope to do one episode every week, and I hope to keep it roughly around 30 to 40 minutes when it's just me talking. Now, when I have other people that I'm interviewing, it's obviously going to be longer because, it's going to be me talking, them talking, a whole conversation around them and the topic around that. So obviously those episodes will be longer, but if they're episodes with just me, again, I want to keep it around 30 to 40 minutes long. Now, I will possibly in the future have episodes where there'll be video along with the podcast so people can watch, the interviews maybe, or just watch me talking or whatever it is. But for a little while now, it's just going to be audio for now. I will hopefully be able to upload my podcast to several different platforms for people to listen to, but I don't know how that's all going to go out just yet. So you'll just have to bear with me on that, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I have explained my view and focus and future goals of this podcast and what I hope to see Tea Time with Chris grow to be. I don't know how successful this is going to be, and I don't want to come on here and just be like, yeah, this is going to be the best podcast you ever hear. You better tune into this, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I know there's plenty of podcasts out there that everybody's going to like. So, what I just wanted to take this episode to explain to you guys, you know, what I just explained, my goals, and what I hope this to become. So I just hope you guys will stay tuned, keep listening to the podcast, as I hopefully will be releasing episodes weekly. I'm hoping to release them on my website, through Facebook, through YouTube. I'm going to see how it works with, you know, Spotify and iTunes and all that other stuff. I don't know how all that works yet, because this is totally new, guys. So, I mean, you guys are just going along the journey and growing along with me, and we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that most of all, it mainly just brings honor and glory to God and just shows people God in a way that they never thought of seeing him. And it can hopefully remove the scars or the taints and just the veil, I guess you could say, over people's eyes of the view of God they've had because of hurt or because of something someone said or something or whatever. I'm hoping that this can show God in a more real, authentic way for people to understand. So continue to listen, guys. Continue to stay update. I will try my best to share on Facebook when I upload an episode. Just if you can, just bookmark my website to your browser, whatever you use. That way there you can just go on, click on it, and see what's going on each week. I won't have something every day. So honestly, if you just check it once a week, you'll probably see something new once a week. So just keep an eye out for that. Some future topics just to keep you guys intrigued on what's possibly coming. One of my upcoming topics for episode will be my view and my beliefs on the beginning of Genesis, the creation, and how everything created and how everything came to be, and, you know, time and all that stuff. My view and my beliefs on that. I also will talk about, of course, those of you who know me know I love space. So there will be episodes that I will talk about things that I've read about online about space and you know, bringing God into focus of seeing God in these different ways of different things that I've read about or seen about with space. I will discuss I will also have an episode where I will talk about the way that I see God, or the way that I perceive God, and why I believe God exists. So those are just a couple of little topics to keep you guys intrigued on it. Of course, I will also share some personal stories that I know some people would be interested in hearing. So again, thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting all these months, and it seems like years to me, of people telling me I should do this, and I haven't done it until now. So welcome to Tea Time with Chris. This was our first episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for even more, guys. Stay awesome. I love you guys. Later. You have just listened to Tea Time with Chris, a podcast filled with hope, faith, joy, love, and occasional laughter. We hope you enjoyed it, and continue to stay up to date with us at teatimewchris.com. God bless.